welcome back to my tricycle life. So today, originally my original plan was to take you guys fishing. I really wanted to do that for you and show you what our trucks can do. However, I haven't gotten paid yet, so because I needed to go out and buy some lures, top water lures to be specific, because everywhere I've been to go fishing is the water's low, and the only lures I have are bottom water lures, so they're not gonna work as well. The only good thing that those lures are good for me as is practicing casting with the fishing pole that I bought. So in this video, we are going to be doing some modifications to a friend of mine's son's bike, to be specific, an e-bike, which is right here beside me. I don't know if you can see it well enough, but you will in a little bit. So I don't think I told you before, but I am a certified bicycle mechanic. I have a certification. All it is a $5,000 piece of paper saying I can work on bicycles for a profession if I want to. I would love to work in a bike shop right now, but unfortunately, I'm not very quick on my repairs. I'm good at repairs, and I do good work, but the downside is I don't do it fast enough because I only use one hand, which is no big deal. So to get back to the bike, so what we have here, I would call this a 29-inch crossover bike. So that's what it reminds me of. It's basically a budget bike or a budget e-bike. So I think they paid about $400 or $500 for this for their son's Christmas. And the problem that they had with this bike was where the battery mount was located, that they noticed the first couple times that he was on it that the battery mount started to loosen up a lot, to the point where one of the times that he rode it, the battery mount snapped. Maybe because of the way that this was mounted. The battery is mounted on the outside of the frame, so you have all that weight, on obviously the outside, so basically top heavy. And to the way that they have the mount mounted is two of the mounts are, I think, were meant for a borrow cage mount, and then they kind of added a third mounting point later on for the mount for the battery. That part doesn't concern me. I think that's probably the best way to mount these batteries on the outside of the frame. But if you kind of crouch down and look between the battery mount and the frame, there's at least I would say about 5 to 8 millimeters of space in between this mount and the frame. So today, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out a way that we can take away that space, so that the battery mount could be resting against more of an area that will take the weight of the battery and the battery mount and spread it out more efficiently, so it's not so it's not so flexy, and it has more, has something more to sit on. My idea for this solution is I have this strip of a roll of rubber with a sticker-like backing. So I was thinking about taking a couple long pieces of this, and then I already cut 2 pieces down to size. That will be the length of the berry mount already. So I kind of already started the process because the part that obviously what we're gonna do is we're gonna drill holes so where as I stick this on the frame, it goes over the holes of the mount so that the hole mounts can hold this into place even if the adhesive start working. This is what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna have you join me along the way. So this is more my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is fabrication and figuring out solutions to different problems. Such as this one. They made a good product up until 10%, 10% away from being done. I think they should focus more of the attention on the berry mount, if it's that much of an issue, which it seems to be. So let me get you in here more closely so you can see what I'm gonna do, the process. It's a very simple fix, I think. So now I got you a better view of what I'm trying to do. Normally we would probably put this on a bike rack, but there's so many things that are clamped on the seat post, and this is a suspension seat post. So it's gonna be, if I do try to put it on the bike rack, it's gonna be kind of awkward and not clamped right, and so this shouldn't be that hard. We could do this on the ground here. So what we need to do first is we need to undo these 3 Allen bolt fasteners here, and they are I think this is a 3mm Allen heads. What I'm doing is I'm placing all the fasteners where in the order that they came off the mount. So we're down to the last one. Obviously, if you have 2 hands, you might want to hold this berry mount still. That way, when this gets all the way loose, it doesn't hit the ground or hit any other part of the bike. So unfortunately though, I don't have that luxury, so I'm just trying to be careful as I can. When I take this bolt all the way off, or this fastener, I have to get that washer. Okay, now we can put this off to one side, like that. Actually, yeah, that should stay. So as you can see, when I was telling you before that that this was elevated off the frame, you can see these 3 where the fasteners go into. There's 3 raised up points. So you can imagine that the mount was raised up off the frame, and so all the weight of the barrier was resting on these 3 small points. So what we want to try to do is take our strips of rubber. We're going to try to stick them around the holes, or around these raised up points, So we're gonna try to make it flush. So when we put the battery mount back on, the battery mount is gonna have a wider area of contact with the bike. Not necessarily with the bike or against the bike, but it'll be against the rubber strips that we are gonna put on to take away some of the vibration, and it'll kind of act as like a rubber engine mount, ideally. So now that we have this off, we can go back to our rubber strips and make sure that we drill holes in the rubber strips big enough to go around these raised up points. So as you can see, what we did was we took a strip of rubber, the one that has the adhesive backing. We drilled holes so it'll match the raised up portion the mount on the bike has. So now that it's kind of more or less on there, as we like mock this up and see where this is going to rest at, I still notice that we have a very slight gap in between the battery mount and the frame still, or now the strip of rubber. So I'm thinking about taking our extra strip of rubber and maybe cutting out pieces that would fit in between here and maybe somewhere around here. I think I'm gonna put this one somewhere around here. So, like I said before, this will act as a type of engine mount. Now it looks like in those places the mount is more supported. Now we can go ahead and start putting our screws back. I hope you get the idea of what I'm trying to do. Like I said before this mount snapped because of vibration, and I kind of felt that this wasn't being supported enough. Like I showed you before, that this was resting on top of those little mounts around those raised points around the holes for the screws or the fasteners. You don't want to get too tight either. You don't want to over torque, but you want it snug. So let's see. So you still have, as you can see, this down here still wants to move, but up here where the fasteners are, they seem more solid. I put a pretty good strip down here, so I don't want to put too much rubber on the backside of this. What's going to happen if I do that is when I torque down this part, if I have more pieces of rubber back here, what it's going to do is it's going to bend. As I torque this down, it's going to bend this part like this, and that's going to make, obviously going to crack it too. I can see behind here, and every place I have the extra pieces of rubber, it's kind of up against this, so it's doing its job. This part is still flexing down here, but it is resting against the rubber behind it. So before it wasn't. Before it was like free floating, and it was kind of slightly worse. So I'm hoping that despite that, the one thing that would help is if there was a screw mount right here to support it, but there's not. So, I'm kind of working with what the factory gave us. So, again, like as you've seen, I put the extra piece of rubber behind here. That is now firmly against it. As you can see up here, there's almost no reflection because of the other pieces of rubber here, well, here and here, and it kind of made it more what's the word? It made it more solid feeling. And like I said, I'm hoping that by these pieces of rubber take away some of the harshness of the vibration for the battery. That is going to take care of it. Time will tell. Again, like I said, I would prefer that there was a screw mount right here. I think that would take care of that part. With that said, it looks like our initial repair is good. I'm kind of happy with it so far. We're gonna have to give it back to the customer, let them ride it for a while, and if it has any more issues, obviously deal with those issues as they come along. But initially, I think we kind of solved the problem, or at least helped support the weight of the battery and spread it out more, the weight and the stress. So we'll see. If you want to know how this repair worked, comment down below. If you like these types of videos, either repair videos or modification videos, comment down below. Tell me if you want to see more. I have other repair bikes around the house. We can go through them and repair them. So until next time, don't forget your helmets, your water bottles, and enjoy your bike rides out there. Bye for now.